All right, everybody, welcome to this delayed week edition of the Fresh Ice Podcast. Russo Felice. Wednesday night, we're rocking. Hopefully semi-temporary, but you never know. Moving forward here, Nick will be able to enlighten us a little bit as to why this is the case, because he's back in studio for the first time in a couple weeks, as well as a longtime guest of ours. He's back in studio for the first time in a while. So, Nick, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, Paul. It's good to be back. Yes, Paul, the reason I have not been on this month, 3 weeks,
Tell the people.
is because I started a new job with the Finger Lakes Times. I guess you could say I'm your guest every week now, bringing in the Finger Lakes Times. But I've been covering some high school sports lately. I have definitely involved with the game. I'm actually going to a swim meet tomorrow. First ever swim meet in Webster Schroeder.
Long journey.
Spotlight is on Nick Frotto of the Waterloo Geneva swim team. Yes, I am excited. Excited to learn what swimming has to, what it involves. But so for the show itself, it's going to vary. We're still on at 10 p.m. during the week, but it's going to be either Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. Not Friday. Don't even think about Saturday.
Easy on the mic there.
Monday through Thursday.
No love for Sunday.
Stay with Finger Lakes 1. You'll see the schedule. Jim posts the schedule for the week. You'll see what the shows they got coming up. It will vary for now. We will see. I actually have bad news. I will not be on next week's show since my day off is Friday. But Paul has a guest for you. But I'm glad to be back tonight.
I don't have a guest lined up at the moment.
He will. We will be on Tuesday next week. Back to the Tuesday spot for next week. He'll keep you updated. We'll keep you updated when the show will happen. But it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 10 p.m. But forget those shows. We got a big show here tonight. Pat is back.
Hey, how's it going?
True, Pat is here.
Hi, everyone. How's it going? Couple month hiatus, but I'm here.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
something different about you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it? What's different?
You didn't have a beard last time.
Yes.
It's shorter.
Yes, it is.
I knew it.
Shorter than last time.
So, North Carolina fan, huh?
We're not going to talk about UNC tonight.
It's all right.
That is a correct statement, Pat.
Paul.
We aren't talking about UNC or Syracuse or Notre Dame
who
tonight.
all lost last night.
Talk about the big MLB playoff proposal news. We'll talk about some of our favorite NBA All-Star weekend moments and stuff like that. Me and Nick will touch on some Wayne Finger Lakes hoops. Oddly enough, Nick has probably seen more than me the past couple of weeks.
I finally went to the Atwood yesterday in Lions.
Do tell. Well, hold on. Wait. Save it for when we get into the segment.
I was only there 10 minutes.
That's what we call dramatic hook.
But I finally made it.
Nice.
And
It's a tiny gym.
we'll discuss the NASCAR season ahead. Should be fun with that, except for really, I guess, both of you.
I hear you have a game for us.
Hopefully, it's not working out as well as I'd hoped to with the way
For
we have
us.
the computer set up. But we're gonna hope and kind of go from there. Kind of exploring some different options here, hopefully to get it going. If not, congratulations, only one of the pictures will work, and it's going to be a best of one showdown, if that's the case. But
Okay.
let's hope not.
Let's hope we have some viewers when that game finally comes up.
Yeah. It would be interesting. I feel like Pat will have a slight edge no matter what, only because
Oh,
of
he definitely has a slight edge. Look at what house he lives in. There's NASCAR posters everywhere. In the bathroom, in the kitchen.
No, but to be fair to Pat, he was at one time a NASCAR fan.
Yeah, and then I turned 7.
I would say
real
until about age 9.
I'll give you 8. We'll meet in the middle.
Deal.
I fell asleep at a race.
So did I.
It shouldn't happen.
That seems weird.
I woke up enough in time.
With that.
The
Dude, I don't know.
main,
It's- yeah, I was gonna say it's allowed to go
funny
past
story
that.
about that. Should we save it for the NASCAR?
Yeah, save it for NASCAR. Dramatic hook, remember?
Dramatic hook.
Come on.
Dramatic hook. Good call, Pat. Speaking of
It's
dramatic
beautiful.
hooks, the
12-6 carry.
MLB. I guess it depends how you want to look about it. It really was a true report. Because now I'm the one kind of, clicking out. So there is a plan to revamp the playoff system. NASCAR baseball has the fewest teams out of the big four that make the playoffs, with 10 total, 5 from each league. Everybody else carries, NBA and NHL carry 8 from each league, 16 total, and the NFL carries 14, 12, 6 from each total league. The MLB with this revamp would have a total of 7 teams per league get in. Here are the 5 main points from it. The 7 teams from each league make it to the postseason, I've already mentioned. Teams with the best record in each league get wild card round buys. That means whoever obviously has the best record. So what was it? Last year would have been the Dodgers and Astros.
Those are the 1 seeds,
Yes. So the other 2 division winners and the top wild card team will all host a best of 3 series. Those would all, to my knowledge, the way I understand it, be at the same site. So if, say, it's Boston, for instance, is the AL East winner, but they don't have the best record because that goes to Oakland, Boston would host all 3 games against the 7th seed in the wild card, who would be Texas, for instance. They'd host the best of 3 series, kind of like a regular season series, except it's playoffs. If you win the first 2, then congratulations, you're moving on. The 2 other division winners, they will get to pick their winners to get their wild card round opponents. So it'd be kind of like a live show, what they want to do. They call it reality TV. Be more like, I'd say, the Selection Sunday show for NCAA. The teams from bye misspoke there. The teams that get the bye would pick who they want to play in the next round after that. So Oakland has a really good track record that year against Detroit, and Detroit makes it in. So Oakland wants to play Detroit, or say Oakland realizes that the Angels have a really big pitching staff problem going on injury-wise, or they're taxed. So they want to play the Angels. That's what they can do. It kind of opens it up. So 3 series winners and the team with the bye will advance to divisional round. And then from there, at the moment, everything kind of plays out the same. Best of 5, best of 7, best of 7. I feel like, at least on my end, I'm kind of on board with everything except the winners picking who they get to play, the 1 seeds, if you will. That being said, if players obviously vote for it in the next CBA at the end of next year, nothing I can do as a fan. I'll sit back, watch, and enjoy it. I mean, I like postseason baseball. To me, is really, I'd say, the best, no matter what, playoff wise. Stanley Cup playoff has a close second for me, but you good over there?
Are we talking professional sports or all sports?
Well, professional sports.
Okay,
really.
so I was saying, if we're talking all sports, March Madness is by far the best postseason tournament.
I think it kind of goes besides saying, though, with that. But, what are your guys' thoughts on this? Because from a player perspective, we've heard and seen a lot of the guys kind of voice their objections to it.
I'll start.
That being said, I think the more... Hold on, I didn't finish my thought.
Something. It's all
that
right.
being said, I feel like the ones being vocal are the ones who are always vocal, like Trevor Bauer, who I like in this scenario anyway. Like an Aaron Judge. DJ Nello is known nationally for speaking out because of this, what he tweeted. But it's kind of interesting how the guys I think so far who've made the biggest noise about it are the ones who or at least have been on teams that have always made playoff runs. You haven't seen, for instance, not to pick on you, Nick, but Josh Bell hasn't said anything. You know, you haven't seen anybody from the Diamondbacks say anything. So, I don't know which one you guys want to really go for. I think Nick wants to go first, but what are your guys' thoughts at the moment with the revamp proposal?
I like it, I don't like it, and I can fix it.
Wow, I was going to do all three of those too.
I like it because it gets rid of the one-game playoff.
Yes.
I think the one-game playoff is stupid. Mm-hmm. You play 162 games. Baseball is not meant for one game. Baseball is meant for series. That's why you play series the entire year.
Thank you.
You don't play one game. I don't like it because I don't like an expansion in the MLB playoffs. MLB playoffs is 162 games, like I just said. I think after that long journey of so many games, you're supposed to earn your playoff spot. Don't become like the NBA and I guess the NHL too, but you can't. I don't want an 81 team in the playoffs. I want the best teams in the playoffs. I don't want a team at 500 to make the playoffs. Then there's the chance of an under 500 team. I hate that. That the chance, that's terrible. The Eastern Conference of NBA, that an under 500 team makes the playoffs. Making the playoffs in the NBA is not even special anymore. It's not. It's making the playoffs is supposed to be a celebration. Do teams even celebrate in the NBA? Do they have champagne showers for making the playoffs? I don't know. I like the idea of 5 teams. I was all right with the 5 teams. Make the divisions mean something. And here's how you fix it. You make it a best of 3. Yeah, just get rid of the one game playoff. Make it best of 3. That's fine. I'm all right. Best of 3. Should they be all, like you just said, the Red Sox hosting the whole series? I don't know. I think there should be one game at the other team's site because you want the home. Because come on, you want the home team to get at least a home game. Because some of these guys that make the playoffs, first of all, you don't even feel like you're in the playoffs, and you don't even get a home game after all that hard work to make the playoffs. And I think they should just switch it. I agree with Paul and I agree with Pat. I think if we're talking all sports, March Madness is the best playoff. But if we're talking professional sports, baseball could be the best.
It's not.
If they just move the divisional round to best of 7. I think the divisional round should be best of 7. I still think best of 5 is too short. Some of these teams, they just don't feel like they're in the playoffs very long. I know you don't have much time because the winter's coming. But I don't like this idea. Don't like this idea at all. I get what Manfred's trying to do, but he's doing it in a wrong way. And the thing is, if you do make this change, you're never going to go back. You're never going to see a league decrease playoff teams because that is money. You're losing money on every game. You're never going to see it. You're never going to see the college football championship go back to 1 game. You're never going to see the NCAA tournament go back to 64. You're never going to see a decrease in NBA playoff teams. And once they go to 7, it's over. It's going to be 7 or then 8 and how many they want to go. It's over for the old classic baseball. And here's what the thing. When you're doing this, you're probably going to lose some interest on the actual loyal baseball fans that they have, which is the older people. And they're trying to draw in younger people. Now, I don't know. It's a test. I don't know if it's going to work for younger people. And then you're losing older people. And you not even get the younger people that you think you're going to get. That's my take. Pat, what's yours?
I agree with like 90% of what you said. Here's the thing. I do like the idea of expanding it because you want to draw in a younger crowd. You expand your playoffs so you can't play as deep into the calendar year, which means you shorten your regular season. A lot of the gripe of the younger fan base is the fact you play 162 games. Why would I sit down and watch 162 games for my favorite team? You expand the playoffs. You go from, they had said, like, if every round ended up in a sweep, you go from a minimum of 43 games to like 80 to 90 games now. You shorten your regular season by a whole month at that point. So now you're playing still 130 games or so, but your playoffs are starting in September. Still decent weather in most parts of the country. You're playing September through probably still mid to late October for all these playoff series, still being 3-game series. I do agree with it's going to be tough with travel for some of these teams. Let's say you do get a Boston versus Texas, a Boston versus Oakland, a New York versus Oakland. With travel days and everything, it might be tough for a 3-game set to go, Yankees host then Oakland and then the Yankees again. What I think they should end up doing for that is your lower seed hosts game 1. That's your one chance to get the upper hand on whoever your opponent is. If you blow that one chance, you got to steal 2 on the road now. Chances are, most teams in that case wouldn't end up stealing 2 on the road. You never know, though. Baseball's a crazy sport. Mm-hmm. I hate the idea of choosing your opponent. I really do.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to bring in an NBA scenario real quick. Let's say Kevin Durant plays in the playoffs this year for Brooklyn. What 1 through 4 seed wants to play Kevin Durant?
I know.
Who's going to pick him? No one. And you can even make a case like, okay, I understand. Trout, Ohtani, whoever else in that lineup's never been in the playoffs. Do I want a 3-game series against Mike Trout? Probably not. He's bound to get one at bat in a meaningful situation that could swing the series.
And think about that. There's a lot of choices there.
Right.
MLB, there's 3 wildcard teams. Most of the time, that first team is going to choose that team that's right around 500.
Right. Regardless of what they do with the playoffs, they need to make the wild card round, whether they go to 6 teams, 7 teams, or keep it as 2 wild card teams. They need to make it a series because they had brought this up. You have a 95-win Rays team. You have a 97-win Oakland team. You're telling me that they're both 30 games above 500 and 1 game decides their season. That's not fair to either team. Even the team that wins, you now on 0 days rest have to fly out to New York, Houston, whatever the case was, to go play 2 games on no games rest. Whereas that 3-game series, you're going to get a game or a day in between somewhere. I don't like the idea of expanding to 7. It's going to be too much. Maybe 6 would be good, where you're going to have your top 2 teams have a first-round bye. You have your lowest record division winner play the lowest wildcard team, and then your top 2 wildcard teams face off.
And you heard Trevor Bauer. Paul was mentioning Trevor Bauer. He's saying the 1 seed is actually the team that's not in favor here. That's they're going to get like a 7 to 10 day break, and baseball is all about starters
staying
all
in the
about
rhythm, staying in the rhythm,
rotations,
and even for hitters, you got to stay in your rhythm.
Yeah.
Whereas, obviously, I've never been in an MLB batting cage before, but I'm not going to sit here and assume that the pitching machines are firing 9,900 mile per hour fastballs at you all day. They could be turning those pitching machines down to about 80, 85. We don't know what's going on in those batting cages where you're all of a sudden out of rhythm. You get too cold. How many times have we seen before, a team gets a sweep, they're waiting for a team that goes 7, that 7-game series team comes in and runs through them in 5 games because they're in rhythm.
I think the MLB is just desperate.
They are.
Well, yeah.
They need to grab that younger fan
NBA,
base.
NHL, and NFL have had the same playoff format for as long as I can remember being a sports fan. Now this is the second time in how many years?
They're changing
7 years. They're changing it again.
Mm-hmm.
Just sounds desperate to me. They're trying to make the sport more popular. I don't know.
I don't know if it's going to work out either. My only big I can't think of the right word right now, or criticism. So my big criticism is just with the choice of if you're the 1, 2, or 3 seed, you get to pick who you play. And if you want me to be honest, that's not fair to anyone else because chances are, regardless of injuries and how a season works out, if you're a 2 seed, there's a reason you're getting matched up with the 7 seed. Because you did better, and it's whatever the case may be. A 4 and 5 seed will be more evenly matched, but you could sit there and be, hey, that 4 seed doesn't have as better pitching.
Now
as
here's
the
the
7,
scenario:
so.
they can only pick the wild card teams, right?
Correct.
What if the 2 divisions were loaded and that 3rd division is terrible?
I know.
And you got a terrible team. What if you want to play that team?
Mm-hmm.
And you can't.
I know. That's why I don't like the choice. No others. I think it's a cool concept. It just doesn't make any sense because. Let's be real. If you go to another team, just in any sport, and you're like, hey, you get to pick your playoff opponent, what makes it fair? There's nothing fair about the fact that, okay, you made the playoffs, this team made the playoffs, but you can choose to play them if you want. Play the team you're seated at. Let them go at it, whatever the case is. I don't know. We'll see if it goes through, if it works out. The only real thing I would eliminate is the choice I still don't know how I feel about the expansion to 7, though. I do like the idea of an expansion, but 7...
And usually around 7th, 8th place is a 500.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing I know I've brought up a lot with bowl teams. If you're an average team, you don't deserve a postseason.
No.
If you're a below-average team, you don't deserve a postseason. Even, I don't like when 7 and 5 teams get a bowl game in college football because you were one game better than average. Congratulations. Obviously, there's going to be some outliers in the situation, but when it comes down to it, it's meant for the teams that had a lot of success in the regular season to try to push themselves, obviously, to a championship.
It's going to ruin the meaning of the regular season.
It will.
Like, if some teams are, because in these division races we've seen haven't been really so close.
No.
And now you're going to play September and August baseball where a team's already in.
Right.
And especially if you're the number 1 seed, what's the point of playing the last couple months if you're really like way ahead?
Right.
Well, I think that's one of the critiques that is true, and I'd have to imagine if they do this, the game regular season goes to 154.
They have to.
I mean, not to play devil's advocate, I guess, really the regular season, but this is a point that you even bring up, Nick, a lot of times when we're just watching games in general is it's the middle of June, why am I watching this game? Type deal. And I think with this, it allows for maybe a little bit more, I guess urgency would probably be the best word to use. Obviously, we still have 2 full seasons to go until this would even become a possibility. I think we have more hurdles to jump before we get to this. Like one thing I brought up, and it's something that I think everybody is with, and although I'm on the side of universal DH, I think they may need to make a universal rule at this point. Obviously, I'd prefer DH. I would imagine, Pat, you're on board with the DH.
It's got to be universal DH or universal pitcher set. It's got to be one or the other.
So
I don't care which way you want to swing it. It's just you need to have.
But we're on the same mindset of universal.
Yeah, it's got to be the same because it's really not fair that in the NL, your pitchers hit every 5 days, and then the AL, they're not. And obviously, some of the pitchers in the NL are pretty decent hitters. By pitcher standards, are decent hitters. But that still means they're now using more energy towards having to run, having to hit, having to be in a batter's box and sit up there for another however many at-bats, innings. And that's going to take a wear on your body a little bit, not a whole lot. But as the season progresses, you have 2-3 bats for a pitcher per game. That's going to wear on them. So you either need to sit down and say, hey, American League, your pitchers are hitting now too to make it fair for the NL pitchers, or sit down in the National League and say, hey, you guys get a DH now so your pitchers don't have to worry about hitting. They just got to go out there and throw. But yeah, the whole playoff thing, we'll see. It's going to make it only more exciting for the middle-of-the-road teams that usually sit right around the wild card mark through like mid-August and fall off the face of the earth because they hit a slump. It only makes it interesting for those teams when you have 195-plus, 100-plus win teams. They're locked in August. It's just a matter of what seed they get, who they're playing in the divisional round, and so on and so forth. So it really only makes it exciting for those, what would it be, 81 and 81 teams. So,
Nick, are you on board pretty much with universal, make one or the other at this point?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I don't know which one, but
you got to make them
just unified in some.
Yeah, I think it's a little odd still, but that's baseball. Baseball's been around since the 1800s.
It's a weird game.
I mean, that's why they got 2 different MVPs still instead of 1. I mean, it's a different league.
Yeah. All right, yeah. So let's move on over to the NBA side of things. NBA All-Star Weekend, heading to Chicago for the first time since I believe 1988 or 89, something like that. I always kind of get excited for NBA All-Star Weekend, even though I know Sunday night I'm not going to watch the All-Star game. Something about Saturday night still with the dunk contest, three-point contest, and the skill competition. I love mostly the dunk contest still. So let's start with a couple of our favorite moments here. For me personally, I'll call it the dunk contest getting put back on stage with Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine now 5 years ago, which is kind of crazy to think about.
Which one of them won it again?
Zach LaVine won.
Zach LaVine won?
Yeah, I thought LaVine won
I
because
saw the interview with Aaron Gordon. Upset Shaq gave him a 9.
Yeah, because Zach LaVine did the same dunk 3 times in a row, and Aaron Gordon changed his dunk up and was better every time and somehow lost.
But either way.
I digress.
That was my favorite. I remember being a junior in college watching it, and there was a few of us watching. I just remember thinking, like, the dunk contest is back, and it's kind of where it's peaked the past couple of years still, but the fact now that the dunk contest is kind of back on the map, I think it's phenomenal. I think the dunk is still the most exciting play in basketball when you think about it. Nothing better, I think, when a guy gets posterized, that type of deal. That and who was it? Gerald Green who blew out the cupcake.
Was it him or Jamario Moon? It was the same dunk contest. I just don't remember if it was him or Jamario Moon.
I think it was Gerald Green
did it, but maybe Moon's the one.
I think it was Gerald Green who blew out the cupcake.
Well, Moon did something.
That was phenomenal.
Something or other with a backboard and a piece of food or something. I don't know. I could be wrong on that one, but Jamario Moon did something crazy. I can't remember.
I'm just happy it's going back to the original dunk contest. What was the one year? John Wall dunked the ball once and won the dunk contest.
Yeah.
That was so stupid. But I'm a big fan of props.
Mm-hmm.
Like I when I think of the dunk contest from my childhood, and since I've been a fan of sports, I think of the Blake Griffin dunk when he jumped over the car. I know he didn't jump over the whole car, but that was cool. I think we should bring more cars out there. I thought the idea when Nate Robinson jumped over Dwight Howard. It's good to see Dwight Howard going. Like, it's good to see those two back at it. It's good to see Dwight back in it. But Patty C, Notre Dame raised, is going to win the dunk contest this year.
No, we have a Heat guy in there.
You know what, Nick?
Derek Jones Jr., who literally flies through the air.
I
have to go with.
Oh, that's right. Levine's not.
I have to go with I have to go with DJJ.
I'm gonna go with Nick and Pat.
To both though.
I'm gonna go with Nick on Pat Connaughton. I'm gonna write out Patty Connaughton. We have the same first name.
Vote?
No.
If it's not,
it's still the panel as far as I know.
Okay, because I remember they used to do fan vote, and Patty C would never win.
No,
but
I mean, he might for obvious reasons.
I'm gonna roll Pat Connaughton with you there, Nick. I want to see Connaughton. We have the same first name. One of my favorite moments came from last year. Joe Harris beating Steph Curry and Klay.
Jeez.
Sorry. And Klay Thompson in the 3-point contest. Before it started, I looked at my dad. I'm like, Dad, Joe Harris is winning. He asked me who Joe Harris was. I told him the best shooter in the NBA. He finished with the best 3-point percentage last year. Joe Harris, I would love to see a repeat.
Right?
I'd love to see a repeat and defend it. Spencer Dinwiddie trying to defend his is it still the Taco Bell Skills Challenge?
Something like that.
Do they still do the team one?
No.
They got rid of that. That was pretty cool, though.
I like that.
They did. It was a WNBA player, a current NBA player, and then a legend from that team.
Yep.
Spencer Dinwiddie's going to try to defend a skills challenge crown. I'd love to see 2 Brooklyn Nets bring home a title. It would be phenomenal. We don't got anyone in the dunk contest. No one really is good enough for us to dunk.
It would be interesting if Zach LaVine won the 3-point and the dunk contest.
It's rigged if he does. I'll call it right now. I'm just kidding.
Well, 3-point skill.
Any love for Nate Robinson?
Yeah, he was. I mean,
obviously, that's my boy.
He was 5'9" out there dunking. Come on now.
Yeah.
Jumping over.
Nate Robinson was before Zach LaVine, Aaron Gordon. I mean, that was the rivalry back in the day.
Yeah, for me, it's kind of hard pressed to find a favorite moment other than Joe Harris winning that 3-point contest because everyone the entire time is Steph and Klay in the finals and you're bailed out in the finals and here comes Joe Harris out of nowhere, knocking them all down and beating them, and I loved every second of it. I love my man Joe Harris.
That was awesome.
I would love to see him repeat, like I said.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, another very, very good moment, just in general great moments are when they have they have those kind of like lifetime achievement all-stars like Kobe, Dirk, Dwayne Wade. Those are cool moments to see just because it's their last one. Obviously, there was Kobe and LeBron going at it for a few possessions in the All-Star game just for fun, just clowning each other. But, those are good moments to see. I kind of wish they gave Vince Carter a moment in the sun on this one. I feel like he obviously has achieved a lot. He's 42 years old and still playing. Yeah. I love Vince.
No signs of his last year, is it?
This is his last year.
Oh, it is.
Mm-hmm. He's gotten a farewell from a few teams. Obviously, the Nets did. Toronto did.
Knicks, I think, did too.
Yeah. Toronto did. It's the team that drafted him. The Nets did a lot. Got him to an Eastern Conference and NBA Finals. I love my man Vince. I hope that they somehow honor him this All-Star weekend. He really deserves it. Also, fun fact, the basketball court is going to be made out of regrind shoes from Nike.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I wish I wasn't drunk at college one Saturday night. I wish I would watch the KP beat Jokic in the skills competition.
That was pretty cool.
I missed it.
Yeah, that was awkward.
I missed it, but I like the whole weekend itself. I liked Friday night. I liked the celebrities game. I like the Rising Stars, but I did find out that stats do not matter with the Rising Stars. They just pick those players, I see. Because how the hell did Zion make it over Mitchell Robinson? Makes zero sense.
Why do you think?
So it's turned me off.
It makes total sense. Just think about it.
Yeah, I guess. He's a way better player.
That's not what I was going to say.
Huh?
Ratings.
Yeah. I thought it was by how you did this season. I guess not. It's all about ratings. But
it's all about ratings.
But
money.
That was cool. I liked it back when it was sophomore versus rookies, but
the sophomores blew them out every time though.
Mm-hmm. But it still is sophomores and rookies. But
don't be rookies.
Yeah, it's a mix for World versus USA.
Yeah, but I like the Friday night. You get you in a good mood. Starts the weekend.
Celebrity All-Star game is on Friday night too.
Yeah,
I think right.
Never sure if it's live.
Yep. It's not.
It's always taped.
It's from a little bit before in the day.
Yeah.
It's like the
horse competition. They still do that?
No.
It's like the celebrity softball game for baseball All-Star. It's previous. They're like, oh, it's 10 p.m. in Cleveland. It's sunny somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're playing right after the home run derby.
Yeah. How'd that happen? It's sunny.
But anyway, I like Friday. I like Saturday, and that's where I call it off. I'm not watching Sunday. It's terrible to me. I hate watching that.
I'll turn it on just to see who wins the MVP. That's about it.
I could do that, but I'll never remember who won MVP.
Right. I feel like every year they just pick a random name out of a hat. Like, yeah, you won the MVP. Like, I'm pretty sure one year the MVP was 9 points, 2 boards, 2 assists. I'm like, how is this man an MVP for an All-Star game? I think at this point it's like, yo, name. Who are you? Kemba Walker. Go. You want it.
No, I don't want to watch James Harden play James Harden basketball out there.
You can watch my TNT any other night of the week doing that.
I know, seriously. But it's definitely one of the better. It's better than the Pro Bowl. It's one of the better All-Star weekends.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's all I got to say.
So let's keep with the basketball theme here. Wayne Fingerlake's hoops winding down, hitting the home stretch, going into sectionals. Big, what we thought would hopefully be a big weekend. Still, I guess, technically ended up being that. Before we toss it to you, Nick. So we were supposed to call that Wayne-Waterloo game Friday night, but because of the weather, it got canceled, got moved to Monday night.
Yeah, at least it wasn't a great game.
It was a great game. I kind of mentioned it, I know on here and definitely during our broadcast a couple of times about how Wayne had that nice 2-game bubble in the standings. Well, now that's 1. Waterloo with the buzzer beater. Mike, what's this? Oh, never mind. Hubbard hit a buzzer beater 3 against Wayne. So that lead now cut to 1. And you still got Waterloo and Geneva right there for the Finger Lakes East title. Only, I believe, for Waterloo and Wayne, only 3 league games left, and they both play a non-league game to wrap up the season. So that'll be interesting. Not too sure about Geneva's schedule off the top of my head. But certainly going to be an interesting stretch run here for the Finger Lakes East title going into sectionals. Nick, obviously we mentioned you got to go to the Atwood for the first time. One of Finger Lakes.
Yeah, I did.
One
How
of,
was your experience?
one of Finger Lakes One's favorite places to go and broadcast a game. But how was you were there as a reporter for the Times? So what was it like?
For how long?
What was it like for your first experience there?
It was good. It was a great final 2 minutes of the game. So as a Finger Lakes Times, we apologize to Lions. We weren't aware of the time change. I guess Clyde doesn't have a JV team. This is girls basketball. Clyde doesn't have a JV team, so they originally moved the game from 7:30 to 6. And I was there for the fourth quarter. I'm sitting there. I get on Twitter. I go on Twitter. I run the Finger Lakes Times Twitter once in a while. I go on Twitter. I say, "Oh, we're covering the game tonight," and then I get a message on there. It started at 6, and I'm thinking they're thinking the JV game. I was like, "No, we don't cover the JV." I'm just sitting there at the game, looking around, like, "We're the varsity team." Then I realized I'm watching the varsity game, and then I tell my camera guy, "It's like, dude, this is the varsity game. We missed it." Anyway, I got a couple interviews. Still got a story out of it. It was a good experience. Hopefully I get the chance to go back, But since I've been doing this, it's been cool. I've done about 8 games, something like that. I will be Friday. I am in Clyde for Lions Clyde. Big rivalry.
Nice.
Lions already wrapped up Wayne County.
The battle for
Clyde's been
31,
hot.
yeah.
So we'll see.
Big momentum game if they win, going obviously with week left, really at that point.
Yes, we'll see what happens there. I'm excited to see what the rivalry's all about. Girls' side, got to see about 2 minutes. But I think the big game on Friday for girls basketball is in Waterloo with Paul Mack.
It is. I will tell everybody about that now.
Yeah.
So Paul Mack and Waterloo square off for the FL East girls title pretty much on Friday night. Finger Lakes 1 will be there, live coverage on YouTube and fingerlakes1.com. 7:25 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Jim Senecropi, Michael Alessio on the call there. And then, as I mentioned, we're coming up on sectionals, and Jim Senecropi will be in studio for the Upstate Hoops podcast Sunday afternoon at 1 p.m. special time. 1 p.m. He'll have Pat Prain and the Myers County Blue Devils in studio joining him as well. So
and I was just at their game against Whitman on
that was
Monday.
a good game. Also on Finger Lakes 1, that was a good game. Really came down to the final couple minutes. Yes,
Minders had a chance to tie the game. Wasn't the best possession. I think they traveled on the play. But they were getting a lot of breaks towards the end there. They had a technical for Whitman, and then they had the 5 second, then came the technical. So it kept Minders in the game. They just couldn't. Mike Bogart made some big threes in that fourth quarter.
Shut up, Big Mike.
And Troy Cabot, both the sophomores, really stepped up that night, and they kept them in the game. But Whitman just hung on to the game.
Whitman's good. They're a good little team.
Women's, they're doing well as an independent this season. We'll see how they do in sectionals. But
Pat, any thoughts?
Go Minders. Yeah. Hometown pride. That's all I got.
I did get to see the Waterloo shot though on.
Oh, you did.
Finger Lakes 1.
That's right. We did get a couple of videos sent in. That was pretty cool. So should be interesting there. Seems like Red Jacket in the West is kind of.
Who's Finger Lakes 1 doing this week? What game?
Paul Mack Waterloo girls.
Oh, they are. I thought they were.
Yeah.
Yes. That's gonna be a good game.
Also, shout out Mike Bogart for hitting some huge shots.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some big threes. They got Minders in the game.
Shout out Big Mike.
All right. Well, we'll do this last part in a couple different ways, but we'll start by saying NASCAR's back. Revving its engine for the season ahead. Had to do that. Should be an interesting deal across all 3 National Touring Series, I feel like. I think the trucks are probably going to be the most competitive, but you guys don't really care about that. Cup Series is going to be the last time you'll probably see Cup racing the way that we've been seeing it the past 20 or so years, the way it sounds.
Don't change it.
Next gen car coming up. A lot of big changes coming with that, the way it sounds.
Does it drive 250 miles an hour?
No. It's
How many
boring.
days to Watkins?
That's all people.
It sounds like you'll see like different differential. It sounds like we'll get some diffusers. I'm saying a bunch of different terms that a lot of you guys probably don't understand. Also, while I'm looking at this, quick shout out to Justin Hilla, just Bren0701G. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it.
Really? We got a viewer?
Yeah, we got a couple of them checking in. But yeah, first time the Cup Series is doing a doubleheader weekend. That will be at Pocono in June down in Pennsylvania. That'll be pretty interesting, pretty cool. The ARCA Series running on Friday, Trucks and Cup on Saturday, then Xfinity and Cup on Sunday. So that'll be cool, interesting. New challenge there for them. New changes for the championship race and the playoffs as well. Phoenix is now the championship site. Homestead Miami moves to a date in March.
You like that?
Phoenix?
If they get the if they can get the package right, the aero package right for short tracks, yeah, I'm about it. That being said, it sucks. Homestead Miami is one of my favorite tracks. Cars can run multiple lines there. Phoenix is a short track. It allows for a bit more beating and banging. So it'll be interesting. I mean, I'm all for the change. I think you got to try and switch it up a little bit. You know, NASCAR is obviously different in this regard. You know, the venue never changes really for the championship race. In my lifetime, this is only the second change. It went from Atlanta to Miami, and now Miami to Phoenix. So that'll be interesting. Something pretty cool. I think before Atlanta was the old Ontario Motor Speedway out in California, which is now, I believe, a strip mall out in the suburbs of LA. So,
Paul, give me your preview on Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, so Jimmy's last year, I definitely think playoffs. I definitely think a win. I don't think championship. But I'll get to that part at the end because, guys, we're going to play a game with you two. Jesus.
Can we start off easy and just throw Tony Stewart up there?
That awkward moment where Tony Stewart's not going to be up there at all. But we will start easy and get ourselves into it. All right, guys.
What's the game?
It's time to play. Can they name that NASCAR driver?
Probably not.
Do. So you guys ready?
Sure.
Our first driver.
Oh, it's Carl Edwards.
Oh, Pat is right.
Is this we have a buzzer?
Pat is
Just
right.
say it.
That is
Carl Edwards.
That is Carl Edwards.
That's my
Good
point.
job.
The reason I remember is
Pat.
he kind of looks like Jeff Burton.
But my guess was going to be Greg Biffle.
Yo, wait, I was going to guess Greg Biffle for the first one, too, just to do it.
All right. Driver number 2.
You better not have Greg Biffle.
So what are we playing?
We'll play through the whole one and see who wins, who comes out on top.
The whole one?
The whole deal.
Is this like a reverse version of FLX Weekly's photos?
No. Okay. All right, name that driver.
Mark Martin.
Nick gets it first. It is.
Why is he Jeff Burton? I mean, he kind of looks like him with a shaved head.
He can't get the answer if he gets one wrong.
That is Mark Martin. It's tied 1-1.
I should automatically get a guess if he gets one wrong.
Okay, yeah, we'll do that. So it's.
Do I get a guess if he gets one wrong?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no, I left it up. Okay, we're good. Let's move to. Actually, this one's medium of the road since you can't see much of his fire suit, I think.
Come on, Steve Harvey.
There we go. Name that driver.
Oh, that's Rusty Wallace?
Oh, Pat is right. That
was
Rusty
a random
Wallace.
guess.
I'm telling you, he has the upside here. You know, he's
of
got a
older
Rusty Wallace
drivers,
poster.
of the older drivers.
It's 2-1 now.
Yeah, what's up?
For Pat.
What's up?
Pat over Nick. Time to name that driver. This one's more difficult. I should have put it as one of the last ones. But
Bob Saget.
his name is on the fire suit, by the way.
Yeah, because I can see. Oh, wait. Oh, dang, it's not on this one.
Your guess, Pat.
Jerry Nadeau?
No. Back to Nick. I'll give you guys each one more guess. Back to Nick.
Is it Cheerios?
It is a Cheerios car.
Well, you said the name was on the thing.
Oh, my God. His first name's Johnny something or other. It's Johnny, I don't know. Johnny Stewart.
No, Pat's wrong. Nick technically has his last guess available.
What? You said one more guess and then he guessed.
Oh, he said Cheerios. That's not a guess.
Henry Ford.
Nope. That's Johnny Benson.
Nah, I got Johnny.
Where's
right?
the Benson?
After Johnny?
Right there. Right there.
Okay, thanks.
My bad. I thought the mouse would pop up.
Uh-huh.
Oh, it didn't.
Okay.
All right.
This game's taking a turn.
Yeah.
That's all right. Still 2-1.
All right.
Cool.
Name this driver.
Ricky Craven.
Oh, close, but no.
Dang it. All I saw was the tie and I jumped on it.
Is it Ryan Newman?
No. Pat, one more guess.
Trying to think of all the people that drove for Tide. All I can think of is Mr. Clean.
This is an old picture. It looks like.
It's from 1998.
Oh man.
Casey Atwood.
No. Nick, last guess.
How
Oh, I think I might have an
many
idea.
lifelines do I get?
None.
I'm gonna go Dale Jarrett.
No, sorry, that's Ricky Rudd.
Oh, I had Ricky right.
That's Ricky Rudd.
Was Ricky Craven even a guy?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
All right, here we go. Second to last picture.
So I get it right, I win.
But the last picture, I'll tell it after this.
Okay, whatever. Next picture.
You might not win technically. You
I
know.
don't care.
Here is name that driver.
He looks familiar.
Again, his name, at least his first name, is above him.
That doesn't really help.
Awkward silence.
Why are you waving at us?
Is it Joe Nemechek?
It's not Joe Nemechek. Nick, you're up.
I mean, if we get two guesses, I could technically guess again before he gets a guess in, but
I'm trying to read this. It says
cursive is too hard.
It says QVC Racing, or is it over to the left there? On
So
the
we're-
cover?
His name is on the truck card thing.
I literally don't have a guess here. I'm gonna say Dale Jarrett.
No.
Um,
Pat, one more guess.
Can we get a hint for this final guess?
He's local. Technically, he's local. He's local.
Martin Truex Jr.
No.
Dang it. I got nothing. I don't know these guys.
I'm guessing Nick has no idea on this one.
I'm going to guess Mr. Watkins himself.
Ooh, kind of close, but no. That's Jeff Bodine from Chemung, New York.
All right, Pat.
Just-
so
Just
Whoever gets this right
we're
wins.
gonna tie.
So this is a Moneyball-esque picture. We have two drivers in the picture. Can you name
Both.
both? One is easy, one is hard.
Okay.
Well, easier than the other.
Okay.
Oh,
Darryl
Dale
Waltrip.
Jarrett.
Pat has Darryl Waltrip right. That might lock up his win.
Who? The other guy's back is facing us. I don't know. Bobby Labonte?
Ooh, no, Nick. Any guesses?
Give me the first name.
That's gonna give it away for Pat.
Sure.
I'm not even
I already
kidding.
So
lost.
it's Darryl Waltrip.
Ken.
The only Ken I know in sports is Ken Rosenthal.
It's pretty sad.
Ken John.
Ken Young.
Ken?
Ken.
Oh, I know now. It's Ken Schrader.
It is Ken Schrader.
Yeah,
Ken Schrader. Wow, Pat takes the victory.
Well, we wouldn't have known who Ken Schrader was with his back to us. I wouldn't even know what his face looks like.
catch on the next installment of Name That Driver at
Anyway,
NASCAR's finale.
I'll give you guys some, I guess, a couple bold predictions in probably championship picks. Bold prediction, I think you will see two. I think you'll see two of the two of the Cup Series rookies get a win this year. Your main, I'll call them three realistically. I guess really even then it'd be three, but I'll give you the main four. Cole Custer with Stewart Haas Racing, he moves into the 41. You have Christopher Bell moving into the 95 with Levine Family Racing. Tyler Reddick moves up with RCR, Richard Childress Racing. John Hunter Nemechek, Joe Nemechek's son, who I heard Pat guess once, is moving up with Front Row Motorsports. If I had to bet, I'm going to go with Cole Custer. Tyler Reddick, I think, is going to get a win. The guy's a wheelman. And RCR needs to prove themselves this year a little bit. So That's what I think there. Another bold prediction. I think we will see. I hate to be quoted on this. I think by the end of the year we'll see one of the what I'll call keynote tracks in NASCAR lose a date in next year's schedule realignment. There's a lot of talk about what could possibly happen there, but I think we'll see one of NASCAR's key tracks lose a second date in that. Prediction-wise for championships, I'll go from bottom up, starting with Truck Series. Truck Series is going to be an interesting year this year. Not fully sure who to go with because I think it's such a talented cropped field this year. That being said, we'll go with Brett Moffitt getting his second title, second in 3 years, and then won this past year. They went to Matt Craffen, but I think Moffitt's with GMS Racing, the best, probably best if not second best truck team to go with in the Xfinity Series. I think he's going to break through this year and get one. I think Justin Allgaier. Phoenix is one of his better tracks. That would be the championship race for Xfinity as well. If he can carry that through, I think they got Dale Jr.'s team, JR Motorsports, definitely top 2 team in Xfinity. So I think that will be the case there. Cup Series. This is where I also think it's going to be a little bit interesting, but I will go out on a limb here. Denny Hamlin finally gets his Cup title. I think that happens this year. So
I got a bold prediction and a question.
Fire away.
My bold prediction: the Daytona 500 winner wins the championship. Paul, when's the last time that's happened?
It's a good question.
Do you actually know? Or are you asking like out of curiosity?
I don't know.
I think Jimmy Johnson. Don't quote me. I think Jimmy Johnson in 2013.
Jimmy Johnson might do it again. Close out his score.
Pat, you have anything over there?
Bold prediction. Pat.
I'm looking up the whole Daytona 500 and championship in the same season. Bold prediction: I will not watch a single race this year. I will not watch a single lap of a race.
That is
I will
bold.
not even see
I think
a
we'll-
flag.
I think we'll
drop.
see a lap.
I don't think I will. I think if I get home on a Sunday and there's NASCAR on, I am turning around and leaving the house.
So I don't get that. So you're saying say pretty confident. Why are you saying that's bold?
That's actually a very solid point. I've heard a lot of people talking about Joey Logano, so I'm going to say he wins the title just because people like to say his name, I guess. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. If I'm right, I'm sorry. I'm not going to watch any NASCAR.
Good game on the...
Good game. Reach, you got longer arms. I'm still trying to find when the last time that happened was...
My pick to win, Danica.
Yeah,
Talking about ratings in baseball. You want ratings in NASCAR? Bring the hot chick back. Get Danica back on board. Come on.
Is she still dating? What's his name?
Yes.
Aaron Rodgers? Okay. Also, I can't find when it happened,
Daddy.
so I just don't even care. NASCAR, change up your playoff format. Just because you win one race doesn't mean you should be in the playoffs. End of story.
Pat does hate that NASCAR.
I hate it. Literally, in theory, you could win one race and then finish 30th the rest of the races, and you're in theory.
So you said college basketball is your favorite playoff. What's
Of all
your
sports,
least
yes.
favorite?
Of sports I actually
The
watch.
Premier League?
I mean, I'll be honest. Soccer doesn't really have a playoffs.
No, that's
So,
what I said, but what's your least favorite?
That's a good question. I'm not counting all the bowl games. I'm not going to count. I mean, I'm going to say the college football playoff just because 4 teams isn't enough to determine it. And I feel like they still try every year to find a way to sneak Alabama in no matter what they do. They could be 0-12 and they'll find a way to get them in. I'd probably say college football playoff of all sports. Of professional sports, though, I don't know. I don't care for the NHL, so probably hockey.
Okay, Paul, take it home.
Yeah, so that was the Fresh Taste Podcast with Russo Felice. Thanks as always for tuning in. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff for Finger Lakes One and ourselves. We really do appreciate it. Download their app. Keeps you updated with all the news and what's going on. Also a fast way to get to the live broadcast that we do. Pat, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for
what
having
is
me
your
again.
fun fact that
Fun
you got?
fact, I feel like Nick's going to enjoy this. So the state sport of Maryland is jousting.
Interesting.
How's that for
Okay.
a fun fact?
Wow.
How's that for a fun fact?
That is fun.
There
That's
you
pretty
go.
neat.
I'm here for fun facts. If you need any more, just give me a shout.
Thanks for coming on again, Pat.
Thank you for
Really
having me.
Appreciate it.
That's what I'm here for.
Nick, who you shouting out?
Shout out my cousin Katie Marino. It was just her birthday this
Happy
last
birthday,
week.
Yeah,
Katie.
happy birthday. Happy
And
belated
she is
birthday.
due
Katie.
for her first kid with her husband Charlie Barbet.
Yeah.
In a few months. Not sure which month, but
Way to be a good cousin.
I think it's April or May.
Woohoo!
That's a.
Congratulations.
But anyway, kid on the way. No idea what the gender is yet. I do know that.
I do know that I don't know.
Shout
I
out
don't
Katie.
know. I do know.
Yeah.
If you will be in Webster Schroeder tomorrow at the Aquatic Center, you will see me there at 5 o'clock. Front row.
All
All right.
Shout out, Katie.
Thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. We will be back next Tuesday night. We'll be myself. Don't know who I'll be with, but Tuesday night again next week. We'll catch you guys then. Take care.